Welcome to Alan's Day. We are working on Crusty tonight. You've seen a whole lot of videos on what we've done for it so far. The recent one that I put out there for you was working on the exhaust. We got that all taken care of underneath and upgraded. Got the bumper on there. I didn't show you what the finished bumper looks like with the top guard on here. And a couple upgrades did to it. They got a real good bolt selection that comes with it. They got a stainless steel bolt right here. But what they did want you to do, and I sort of disagree with their logic, is they give you these little foam gaskets to go between here, the bumper, and the top pipe. And I think all that's going to do is going to, at least in this part of the country, it's going to collect moisture and it's going to frickin' rust. So those go in the junk. And what I did instead is I put some 3/8 stainless steel 316 washers underneath the four corners here. And what that's going to do is going to leave you an air gap in there for the air to flow through and dry that out when it gets wet. And then I put some stainless steel washers underneath. But overall, I like the bumper. As you saw in the previous one, I did some upgrades on there. I changed out and I switched out and put some 1/2-inch grade 8 bolts in there, a little bit bigger bolt. And the biggest upgrades I did on there was I added some more support in the form of this strut material I put on here. You can use a piece of flat bar, whatever chunk of steel you got floating around there. Anything is going to be better than what they had. Technically, as far as I'm concerned, all these bolt-on bumpers, they're all pretty much the same. I've put on a bunch of different brands and they're all the same, similar. They don't have any lateral support. They hook on the very end of the frame rails, and which is good in theory if you're just pulling one direction straight forward. Yeah, they're probably going to work. If you got to start pulling sideways or a little bit more up, you know what? Every single one of those aftermarket bumpers, front bumpers and rear bumpers, they're just for looks. They have actually very little structural integrity unless you're pulling straight forward with them. So just keep that in mind. Don't try grabbing a hold of those, like I said before. They're going to fail. So put this bar here, goes all the way through, comes up, bolts onto the front, and then to get some diagonal on the bumper, I put this flat bar in here, which you can see right here. And I used all the existing holes in the Jeep. It'd have been nice if they built it for this Jeep, that they give you a few options or suggestions to add a little extra something onto these bumpers. But anyways, that's my rant about the bumpers here. Overall, real nice bumper. Next thing for it is we've got a winch for the front. They said that bumper's ready for 12,000 pounds. Winch on there. That was the reason I did all the upgrades. If you weren't putting a winch on there or you weren't doing any heavy pulling, the mounts they had probably would have worked out just fine. So we're going to do another YouTube unboxing. Well, here's the box and we're unboxing it. So here's what we're putting on there. It's a Badland 12,000 pound winch, which is more than enough for this Jeep, but for what I use is going to use this Jeep for, I use it for more than just pulling the Jeep out. it's a work truck. Not quite sure what I'm gonna be pulling yet, but at least I have the option. So let me get this pulled out of the box here and show you what we got. A couple other things on the list here. They got to go in there. Putting a transmission cooler in there. This one is for a 14,000 pound GVW truck. A little smaller than what I typically put in there, but I guess for what it's doing, it's going to work. So transmission cooler is going in there. And then also what I like putting in, a lot of the aftermarket products that I put on there, I try to get a transmission filter kit put in there. And the reason I do that is so that I have a transmission gauge, temperature gauge on there, so I know what's going on. So it comes with the housing, filter, different fittings, and a place to put the gauge in there, which that's what this must be right there. Yep, we've got our temperature gauge. Critical thing, got to keep your trannies cool. And where this is going right now, we're in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's sort of flat up here. Where this Jeep is going in 2 months from now, or back to, is down to Tennessee. Nothing's flat, everything is uphill or downhill. So that's the reason for the tranny cooler. Add a little extra capacity with the filter on there. Keep that tranny safe. So let me get that unboxed, and we'll see what it looks like. I've got it out of the box. So like I said, this is a 12,000 pound winch, synthetic rope. I'm a big fan in that synthetic rope. I use that a lot in block and tackles and stuff. It's been working pretty good for me. So let's see what we got in the package. Stickers, plenty of stickers. I don't know what we're going to do with all these stickers, but obviously some people like stickers. We got the guide. We got the book for it. We've got, this must be the cable for the remote on here, or the controls. That's pretty handy. It's like a hook. And, ooh, this is cool. This is the mount plate on here. That's gonna look tough. What else we got in here? And we got a winch. This winch is pretty heavy. So overall, I probably added at least 150 pounds to the front of the Jeep here, at least, if not more, with that winch and that bumper change out on there. So, well, let me get all the rest of these parts out of here and see how this thing goes together. I got the winch in there. Note to self, put the bar in after you put the winch in there. I just got a little excited and got ahead of myself there. In order for that to fit, I had to take off the top portion of the winch here, and it's just a couple of screws and bolts. I wanted to see what was inside anyways. So next step on here, they've got these little square nuts and the bolts. I will get a little bit of anti-seize on those threads, and I will get this thing put together. And put this in here. Oop. You can see the little square nuts go in here. Square nuts go in right there. So I'll get all the nuts put in there, flip it back over, get the bolts in. get the top wood back together, and we can start wiring this beast up. We are making progress. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with this Badland Winch and how they got it set up and what they send with you. Got it bolted down in there. Way back down in there, there's a ground cable. It only requires one ground cable going all the way up to the battery here. I added an extra ground cable right there. You can never have enough grounds on these things. Next piece of the puzzle. Have to put this disconnect switch. Gonna put that right down in here. Hook my winch cable up, hook it to the battery, and we're gonna have a winch. A couple more upgrades I want to do to it. Not tonight though, I gotta go to work tomorrow. Down in here, I've got to put a block in there to keep this winch. Right now, we're just 100% relying on the bolts to hold that from sliding forward. I want to put a little aluminum block between the frame and the frame of the bumper to hold it together. I've already had these winches bust out in the back. Those T-nut slots, I've had them crack out on there. So whenever possible, do a little upgrading to it. Put a spacer down in there and work off the front of the case there. That's it for tonight. Like I said, I got to go to work tomorrow. I'll show you once I get the next step. Getting that hooked up, and that pile of parts over there. The transmission cooler, some electrical on the inside. It just never ends once you open this can of worms up. So talk to you guys later. Hopefully this helped for somebody that's working on their Jeep or just putting in one of these winches. Talk to you later. Thanks, guys. Thank you for watching Alan's Day. Life is about making choices. Some things are already perfect. Some things you may choose to upgrade. This channel will show you both. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks again.